Well, it's 7:30 AM and I'm out in the local river. The reason I'm out so early is because the river has not been fishing well through the day recently. This last week's been pretty awful, to be honest with you. And not just me that found that. A friend of mine was fishing way downriver yesterday through the day and didn't see a fish rise. He managed one reasonable fish on a deep sunk nymph. So the plan today is to get out early and give it a couple of hours and see how it goes. And I'm fishing with a pair of nymphs, so let's see what happens. It's absolutely roasting. Some clouds in the sky, but they're all further over at the east. I'm just in the full sun here. The wind's starting to get up. It is absolutely roasting hot. So I don't hold out too much hope, but you never know. And if you don't go, you don't know, as the saying goes. The vegetation is starting to get quite serious now. The nettles are up to chest height. The thistles, which will be puncturing the new waders no doubt, are just about as bad. So I'll have a go in here and see what it gives. Well, no fancy rods today or retro gear, but the old trusty Sage ZXL. The sun is coming in from the side, it's really quite distracting. The water level really is dropping rapidly in the river now. Hard to believe just a couple of weeks ago it was over its banks. Yeah, the river is dropping, but it's still at a decent level. Much healthier than it normally would be at this time of the year. I mean, mid-June, it's usually starting to get seriously on its bones. But it's certainly getting to the time of year where the best fishing's either early in the morning or in the evenings. The daytime fishing just gets harder and harder. Picked up a bit of weed there. Oh, got a wee touch there. Let's see what the faster water's like. Oh, here we go. Just a wee one, but in absolutely lovely condition, stunning condition. Back you go then. Well, that's the first fish I've had out of this spot for weeks. I think maybe with the water getting warmer, the fish are holding up in the faster currents. but that's just a theory. Oh no, a pair of mallards. Any minute now, the water skiing will start. No, that's it. Ducks, just you swim up there gently. I'm not going to harm you. Just gently, gently, gently. No need to water ski. Good stuff. But my goodness, the water is dropping fast. This is almost unrecognisable just over the last few days. But what a beautiful morning. Getting a tad windy now, but it's still a beautiful morning. I've always been an early riser. When I was a boy, I used to get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and go up the Brothick Burn in Arbroath in midsummer and fish from about 5 in the morning to about 9, maybe 2 or 3, 4 hours maximum. Just to catch loads of fish. And then back at 9 it would switch off, and that was it, basically until the evening. There was no point in fishing anymore till the evening. So as they say, early to bed, early to rise makes a man incredibly boring. But he catches more fish. It's funny how the rivers change over the years. And a couple of seasons ago there was a huge snag right in the middle of this pool I'm coming up to, which seems to have gone. Just takes a few big floods to re-sculpture the river. Right, I'll try up a wee bit more. Oh, I just saw a fish rising further up the pool. The fish here in the main tend to lie to the right hand side of this main current seam coming down the middle. Not always, but usually that's where the most of the fish are. So another one rise mid current there. And I got him. That's rather nice. Just a wee thing. In fact, that one's foul hooked. That's off. Yeah, that one was foul hooked. But it was going back anyway. Yeah, I'm fishing with a 2.5 or a 3mm tungsten bead nymph on the tail. And one of Stu Tripney's pogo nymphs, which has got a foam thorax, so it makes it very buoyant on the dropper. And almost certainly what happened with that fish there was it went for the dropper fly and got snagged up in the tail fly. But these things happen. Indicator went under there again, and the water's actually quite deep, so it was probably a fish. I was going to be doing a video on another one of my long lost rods, which is it's been lying up in the loft for a good few years, unused. Another small stream rod. It was a Shakespeare Agility 2, 6'3" weight, tiny wee rod. I took it out to have a cast with it. I just came down the river to have a cast with it, and as I said, I was going to be making a video up till I realised, till I remembered why I hadn't used it for so long. Absolutely dreadful. It was about as crisp as month-old lettuce. It was like trying to cast with a stock of spaghetti that had been overboiled. It was absolutely awful. So it might be a good rod for an absolute beginner, a wee lad who's just learning to fish and fishing down and across, it would be fine for that, so I'll maybe give it away to some kid. I'll certainly never fish with it again anyway. Vile rod. I'm not knocking Shakespeare Agility, I think they are quite good rods, but this particular one was just absolutely dreadful. Just no backbone at all. Well, the fish aren't exactly giving themselves up here, are they? If I can get an hour or so out of it, that'll be fine. I'll fish up towards the bridge and reevaluate the situation there. But I thought it might have been a little bit more active than it is, to be honest with you. Maybe I should come out even earlier. Got up at 4, say get down on the river by 5. As long as the weather's like this, you've got these blazing blue skies and it's really warm. Temperatures getting up into the 20s during the day. This river fishes quite well in the evenings, but I'm not a great one for evening fishing. I prefer fishing through the day. And for me, one of the problems with this river is it flows west to east. So if you're fishing it in the evening, you're constantly looking into the sun, which I'm not crazy about. Of course, if you're fishing downstream, that's not relevant. But certainly, if I always fish upstream, I just prefer fishing upstream. It's a lot harder work, but I just prefer doing it. It works better for me as well. But having said all that, I might come out in the evening, some evening, and make a video. We shall see. Okie doke, we'll try upstream a wee bit. I'll have a wee stroll upstream. Try some of the pools up here. It's me down in a t-shirt. It is so warm. And it's 8:10 in the morning. I think within an hour it's going to be pretty much unbearable. In fact, if it wasn't for this wind, it would be unbearable now. It's so windy, I'll be surprised if the audio on these video clips is usable, but we shall see. Well, I think there's a very real likelihood of me getting snagged up in the trees here. I'll have to remember to come down here with a pair of loppers this week and take some of these branches off. Actually, looking at that, I might have a job getting out to these branches to lop them. Not so much casting here, more sort of lobbing. I've taken some good fish out of this pool in years gone by. But it's just become progressively more difficult to fish as the trees have grown. Nope, I think we'll give this spot a miss. Move on a bit further up. Yeah, I think this is the first time I've been able to fish this spot this year. Water's always been too high. Not easy getting a cast here though. Not easy at all. We're actually kneel in the water. It's classic nymphing water, this. Oh, there we go. That's a nice fish. Half a pound maybe. Yeah. Away you go. Into the bottom this time, unfortunately. So that'll be the end of this pool. Alright, let's have a crack in here. Well, nothing here so far, and it looks absolutely ideal water. What? Speak of the devil. There we go, up. Just a typical wee wild trout. 8-9 inches, and away you go. Yeah, the fish seem to be in the real fast water now. There's probably more oxygen in it, and it'll be a bit cooler as well, because things are certainly starting to warm up now. Changed days. That first day I was out this season, on the opening day on the 15th, the water, I think it was 5 or 7 degrees C. Just interesting to watch the progression of the season. That's really why I make these videos. It's just like a video diary of how the fishing progresses through the year. Yeah, the videos they're a lot of work, but they're fun to do and quite interesting to look back on during the long, cold, dreary months of the winter. They're certainly not going to be winning any BAFTAs, but I'm not sure any fishing video would. Yeah, fishing has become seriously politically incorrect in some circles, especially catch and release fishing. My guess is the fish prefer it though. Well, there's one more spot I want to try, so I'll just see if I can battle my way up through the vegetation here, have a go there, and then probably call it a day. So just bear with me, and I will see you when I get there. Right, we'll have a go in here. I just saw what looked like a reasonable fish rising up there. And here's me on the nymphs. Yeah, this water here is probably just a bit slow for the nymph. In all likelihood I've put that fish down. It's kind of hard to be delicate with a 3mm tungsten bead. There we go. Just a wee one, I think. Just your standard fish. There you go. Yeah, the early morning seems to be working better than during the day at the moment. Oh my god, it went in there like a hoard of bricks. More like a hoard of bricks than a thistle down. There's a chance of fish in this faster water up here though. Into the bottom, unfortunately. Well, I managed to get that out. But I think I've ruined the pool in the process. Well, I think I'm going to call it a day at that, guys, and battle my way back to the car, which with all these nettles and things, head high, it's no mean feat. So we'll close it there. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one, whenever that may be. Bye for now.